Hi, I am Jonathan Nira. I talk about skeleton ingredients. All ingredients must be will eat colorly. Water, milk, and eggs may be measured by volume. They are scaled 1 piece per point or 1 kilogram per liter. And wherever if quantities are larger, it is more accurate to weight these liquids. Spatial care must taken when measuring space scent. And other ingredients used is very small quantities. This is particularly important with salt, which affect the rate of fermentation. Formulas and measurement. Bakers generally talk about formulas later in recipes if this hold to you more like and chemistry that is a food production facility. It is with gold ration. They sorry. The baker shop is very much like a chemistry laboratory, but in the specific accuracy of the procedures and in the complex reaction that take place during mix and baking. Measurement. Ingredients are small, always well weighed in the baker shop rather than measured by volume because measurement by weight is more accurate. Accuracy of measurement, as we have said, is essential in the bake shop. Only like home baking recipes and professional bakers formula will not call for 6 cups flour. 6 cups.
I'm going to talk about mixing. The mixing just has three main purposes. The first one is to combine all the ingredients into a uniform smooth dough. The second one is to distribute the yeast evenly throughout the dough, and the third one is to develop the gluten. Okay. We have three principal methods that are used for the yeast dough. The first one is the straight dough method. The second one is the modified straight dough method, and the third one is the sponge method, also called the sponge and dough method. For the first method, in its simple form, consists of only one step, that's combine all ingredients into a mixing bowl and mix them. The second one is for rich sweet dough. This is the straight dough method that is modified to ensure even the distribution of the fat and the sugar. And the third one is the sponge method. The sponge dough are prepared in 2 stages. This procedure gives the yeast action and head start. The procedure have these 2 stages, and the first stage combine part of all of the liquid, all of the yeast, and part of the flour, and sometimes part of the sugar, mix into a batter of soft dough and let ferment until double in bulk. The second stage is punch down and add the rest of the flour and the remaining ingredients and mix to uniform and smooth dough. We have the mixing times and speeds too. Okay, we can learn all of these mixing times and speed time and speeds by a book of guideline. We must learn to tell by sight and feel when a dough is strongly mixed. Okay, this can be only by our own experience. What I mean is that we need to practice too much for have these elements in our heads, in our brains. Okay, this all of the mixing.
Hello, my name is Eliseo Garcia Gomez, and I'm going to talk about the fermentation. The fermentation is one thing very important in the bacteria because it gives us a good dough. This consists in three terms or three ingredients. It will be condiments, where you want, where we want to say. It consists in flour, water, just the temperature is very important. We want to make a delicious bread. So we need to have about 80 grade Fahrenheit, 85 grade Fahrenheit, or that's so. We can make with a dough. Try to tear two parts. These are nor overripe or neither on the ripe.
Kneading is a process in the manufacture of bread or pasta dough, which is used to mix the ingredients and add resistance to the final product. It's important in the mixture of flour with water. When these two ingredients are combined and kneaded, the gluten and gluten protein in the flour expand and form a slow strand, which give the bread its texture. The kneading process heat at and stretch these gluten chains, ultimately creating an elastic dough. If the bread dough is not kneaded enough, it will not be able to hold the tiny pockets of gas created by the leaving agent such as yeast or baking powder, and it will collapse, leaving a heavy loaf and dense.
Scaling is a multi cooking method in which liquid or steam is used to help solids such as sugar, flour, or chocolate dissolve more easily into the liquid. The technique of scalding can also be used to replicate the exterior of food items without cooking through. Actual baking loss depends on baking time, size of the unit, and whether it is baking in a pan or freestanding. Scaling should be done rapidly and efficiently to avoid over-fermenting the dough. If a dough divider is used to make rolls, the dough is scaled into presses, which then divided into 36 equal pieces. For example, if 11 third dough rolls are desired, 2 presses should be scaled at 3 pounds, plus 6/1000 to allow for baking loss. Presses are rounded, relaxed, and divided. The divided units may or may not be run again, depending on the product.
I'm going to talk about the sixth step for process baking, and it is rounding. This comes after scaling the pieces of dough, and they are shaped into smooth and round balls. People usually collocate some dusting flour over them because this prevents to pick up in the equipment for rounding. The most the most common equipment for rounding is the conical rounders. This consists of a cone which is rotated above a vertical axis with the track of a fixed rounding surface or runway located in a spiral pattern above the outside of it. The friction of the dough pieces between the runway and cone surfaces seals the dough pieces and forms their round shape. The cone of each rounder is inverted and has grooved surface.
Hi, I'll talk about step number 7, benching. This process, rounded portions of dough are allowed to rest for 10 to 20 minutes. This relaxes the gluten to make shaping the dough easier. Also, fermentation continues during this time.
Now the makeup and panning. The dough is shaped into lobes or rolls. It depends on the desired shape we want to get at the end of the baking process. And after that, they are placed into pans or baking sheets. Proper makeup or molding is of critical importance to the finished baked product. All gas bubbles should be expelled during molding. Bubbles left in the dough will result in a large air holes in the baked product. For both pan breads or head breads, the seam must be centered on the bottom up to avoid spilling during baking. For units baked in pans, the pan size must be matched to the weight of the dough. Too little or too much dough will be result in a poorly shaped loaf. That's the why we have to scale very well in the fifth step.
Hello, my name is Eliseo and I want to talk about the proofing. The proofing is a process in the bassett or fermentation that it will give up two part or term. It will be or can be makes his dog or makeup and the fresh breast is very recognizable in the world because it gives us it generally gives us a long flow, a long texture, which is characteristic for the flavor. So the second is the overproofing. The overproofing is will give us a dense texture, and its body will be lost some flavor. So it's that all.
Baking. Many changes take place during the baking. The most important change are the oven spring, which is rising the oven is the rapid rising in the oven to the production and expansion of trapped gases as a result of the oven heat. The second one is the coagulation of proteins and gelatinization. This, in other words, is the product becomes firm and holds its form. And the third one is the formation and browning of the crust. We have the oven temperature and baking time. The temperature must be adjusted for the product being baked at the proper temperature. The inside is completely baked at the same time that the outside is form the crust, achieves the desired color. Okay, we have the washes too. We have three principal washes that is used to for the jest. This is the water, the starch paste, and the egg wash. We have the cutting or scoring. The cutting or scoring is used to only for the sake of appearance in small rolls, and in hard crusted breads are cut for the baking. This is caused by continued rising after the crust is formed. Okay, to allow for the suspension, the top hard crusted breads are cut before the baking. This is the break in the cutting or scoring. Okay, we have the steam too. The steam is used for bake with the steam, and the steam is injected into the ovens during the first part of the baking. Rye breads also benefit from the baking with the steam during the first 10 minutes too. The steam helps keep the crust soft during the first part of the baking, and then when the steam is withdrawn, we have a result is a thin, crisp, glazed crust. Okay, and the rich dough, thus with higher fat of sugar content, than form the crisp crust and are usually baked without the steam too. Okay, this is all of the baking.
The proper cooling methods follow a 2-hour, 4 hours rule and happen in 2 steps. Food is to be cooled from 60 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius within 2 hours. Then food is to be cooled from 20 degrees Celsius to 4 Celsius or cooler within 4 hours. After baking, bread must be removed from pans and cooled on racks to allow the escape of the excess moisture and alcohol created during fermentation. Do not cool bread in a draft because the crust might crack.
Storing. Storing prevents physical and chemical change in bread due mainly to microbial activity. The process that causes the bread to become rancid and hard baking during the final phase of changing, that is up on leaving the oven baking even before the starch has solidified.